Do you want to get loads of XP with absolutely no mobs involved that you can just crack on doing your own thing and it churns out the XP for you whenever you want it? Don't you go anywhere, I'll show you how. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening and good night, and welcome to another episode from me, Avomance, in my farm tutorial series. Today I'm going to be converting the cactus and bamboo farm that we did the other day into an XP bank. Yeah, an XP bank, that means you've got no mobs and it's an XP farm. And it's really useful. Now, I did an XP bank previously with a standard bamboo farm, with a standard cactus farm that works really, really well, but it's quite slow. And a lot of you have said, oh, that's a little bit slow, Avo. And you're right, it is a little bit slow. It takes a little while to get going. This fella works a lot faster. So we're going to confirm all the way down there. So you don't have to come up to the farm to be able to turn it on and off. You can do it all the way down there. If you've not seen this farm, the link to the tutorial for this farm is in the description below. I'm not going to be making this bit again. I'm just going to be making the XP bit downstairs. Let's crack on. This fella will give you 5 separate banks for XP, each one independently controlled with a lever underneath, so as you can't mistakenly take XP from more than one if you don't want to. Sucks out loads of green dye, so if you want green dye you can have it for days, but if you wanted to you could connect that up to a dispenser going into lava. That's entirely up to you. Let's get making. To make this XP bank module for the zero tick farm, actually you don't need very much. About half a stack of oak planks, 5 furnaces, 17 hoppers, about 20 rails, about 10 powered rails, 3 minecart with hoppers, 6 chests, although if you want a bigger collection system then put more chests in and then you'll need an extra hopper, and 9 levers. We're looking to not change too much on this platform at all, so let's put 5 furnaces in a row there and then a block. Now the reason we put that block there is, frankly, you can't get really more than 5 furnaces worth of XP on this one. The 6th one tends not to work quite as well, so we just block it off with a 6th one here because that also allows us for a lot easier access. And then in the top of all of these furnaces, using shift click, place a hopper into the top and a hopper going into the back, so you should see the tails are going backwards and downwards. We're going to focus first on the cactus side of things. Pop a block there, and a block there. If you want to, just for tidiness, fill that up. Get yourself a lever, a powered rail, and then normal rails running across those hoppers. Now place another of your building blocks, I'm using wood, there, and pop it up like that. Put a lever on that side there, and a powered rail there. Now above this 2 rails here, I want you to put a double chest like that. So that double chest then will allow a minecart with hopper to run underneath both sides of that chest, and as a result of running under both sides of that chest, it will suck the items out. And then on this side of the chest on the top, place a hopper that will flow stuff into that chest without the hopper minecart only being restricted to a single block. So if I switch both of these on, that runs backwards and forwards. If I then fill this item up here with, I don't know, with 64 blocks, those blocks go into the chest slowly, and then they get collected out quite strongly with that minecart and go into the top of the furnace. It's time to do the bamboo side now, so stick a couple of blocks in there. Now what I've found, it is a lot easier if you cause it to elevate and drop onto those and then come up again. Bring that up like that and stick an extra one on the side. Grab yourself a lever, pop a lever on there. If you wish, you could also pop the lever on there, but shove that lever on. Place a powered rail. You can see it's powered. Turn the lever off. Don't put anything there just yet. Place a rail there using shift click, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then hop it up onto that block. Then bring blocks round there, 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 there and there. You can then put your rail there, a rail there, and a powered rail right there. Put a lever, if you wish, there, there, or there. Doesn't matter where you pop it. And then if you turn that on, it only powers that rail. It doesn't bud power through to the other side. That is almost done. You then need to come here. Now, if you place your rail here, it's going to snap this fella to turn onto it, which is really irritating. So you don't want that. So get rid of that rail, pop your rail there, pop a powered rail there, and that is everything sorted. All you now need to do is place the minecart with hopper on that one. You could put it on this one if you wanted to. Get yourself a chest, place the chest on top of that rail and shift click another chest on top of it. So it is that part of the chest is directly over that hopper, and then get a hopper, point it into the top of that chest. That will then work in exactly the same way this does. The bamboo will fall onto that hopper, and then it will go into the chest, and it will be picked up very quickly by that minecart with hopper as it comes around. If you find at the start your back minecart gets a bit stuck, replace the normal rail there with an extra powered rail at each end, and you'll find that works beautifully. Now, these chests and these hoppers serve absolutely no purpose, so harvest them back out. You could do with the extra hoppers because you've just used a few of them, and as a result, it's nice to be able to recycle your goods, isn't it? So what we're going to do is we're going to pop that on, we're going to pop that on, that, and that, and we're just going to check that these minecart hoppers do run backwards and forwards perfectly fine. They absolutely do. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the farm, and that will, after not many seconds, start to shoot bamboo and cactus down. So let's switch the farm on. We'll just wait for just a few seconds to see these fellas coming. You can see the bamboo's already starting to drop, and the cactus now is also already starting to drop. And if we come around the front, you'll see that these furnaces will one by one start to turn on as this bamboo and cactus starts to build up within the system. Now this system does take a few minutes to prime up, so you can see this is now starting to get a little bit more bamboo and the cactus is building up. This here's got a lot more cactus. As these fill up, these will start to get their cactus as well, because at the moment the fuel is what's filling up, which is great and we're happy with that, but ultimately we want them all to be completely full. Now that's good and all, but that's only going to fill up those furnaces until that hits 64. Now what do? You need to come underneath your platform, and you want to come in level with your first furnace, which is there, and go in 1, 2, 3 and 4. That should be directly under your furnace. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. You should have 5 furnaces visible. There you go. And then under each furnace, you can see they're starting to build up. Under each furnace, put a single block, and then put a block on that. Take those out, and then what you can do is come in from above, pop these ones out here, and place a hopper going into each of those wooden blocks. What that will do is that will start to suck out that green dye, because that green dye, whilst brilliant, is going to take away the ability to accumulate a lot of XP. Place blocks underneath these blocks that you put underneath the hoppers. Remove those blocks from underneath the hoppers, then bring it out 2 and up 1. Now on that up 1, place a lever, put a powered rail on there, then come to the other side, and in this kind of 4 section here, open that up and place a double chest. Now if you want, you could make it deeper or whatever, that's fine, or you could turn this into a dispenser system where a dispenser shoots the green dye into lava. I'm going to make the assumption that you want the green dye. Then shift click 2 hoppers into the top of that chest, put 2 blocks there and a lever there that you can then turn on. Now obviously if you've already got a block there, you don't need to do that. 2 powered rails, a block there, and then run rails underneath all of those items there. So then what you can do is you can grab a minecart with hopper and pop it on there, get these fellas powered, and you'll notice we've got green dye coming through there. Flick the switch on, that minecart with hopper will collect up that green dye and squirt it very slowly into that large chest, and over time you'll get loads and loads of green dye. But what about when we want to collect anything from the furnaces themselves? And that bit couldn't be more simple. Put 5 blocks across there, and then you can give yourself independent control of each of those furnaces by sticking a lever underneath each one. So let's say I want to isolate this first furnace. At the moment it's bashing through cactus like absolutely no one's business, but it's not staying, it's going through and it's going into this hopper here like that. So if I then flick that switch, look at the furnace now, that then holds that stuff in the furnace so you can collect it out because the hopper is locked. Now it won't stop the hopper from having stuff sucked out of it by the hopper minecart, but it will stop it going into the hopper itself, which will allow you to collect the green dye, which is how you access the XP. The XP bank's been running for about half an hour now, and you can see all of the furnaces are rolling and are very, very primed. They've all got the absolute max in there, and they're going to be burning continuously for you. So what we're going to do now is we're going to see what this first furnace, which has been the most active furnace because that's the one that gets the most cactus in, how much that's given us over that short period of time. So it's only about 30 minutes. So I want to see how much XP that does. So let's lock that one up there. I'll come back up to the farm through my steps because I'm in survival. You can see that I have absolutely 0 experience, and this is now collecting a green dye. So after 30 minutes of priming, this isn't with it running properly, this is just with it priming, this has given me 9 levels of XP. Now what we'll do is we'll come back when it's done an awful lot more work, and we'll see what a fully fledged system can give us. So this fella has now been running for almost exactly 4.5 hours since I left UR. So 4.5 hours of post-primed activity. Now, I don't know about you, but I could easily be wandering around for 4.5 hours building and mining and goodness only knows. So this is easy to run. You don't have to do anything. And in that 4.5 hours, that has completely filled up. That has completely filled up. And I think these have started to fill up. So that's pretty much the capacity of one double chest worth of stuff. So I'm going to come up and we're going to see what XP 4.5 hours will give you. So if I just clear all of my XP here. Right, so that's all of that gone. I need now, obviously, to lock these. In fact, I'm going to lock all of them for now, because we might just play around with all of them just to see what we end up getting. So for this first one, remember this is the one that we emptied out 4.5 hours ago. So this one is a literal 4.5 hour doodad. Let's pick it out. My 0 XP becomes 23 levels of XP from 4.5 hours work. That's not too shabby. If I take this out, on top of the 23, that goes up to 33 levels. Now, I can then go and enchant something at max level now without having to worry about taking the XP out of these. And I can enchant and enchant and enchant and enchant, and then I can come and take XP from this one. So let's reduce my XP again. So I've done a load of enchanting and whatnots, and I've now got 10 levels of experience left. And I want to top it up because I want to do some biggies. So I'm going to take out this one, straight up to 28 levels, and this one takes me to 37 levels. And I've still got this fella, should I want to top up later. This is a very effective way to get experience. It just rolls on in the background, and it's a proper XP bank. Not a single mob in sight. Works in peaceful without any trouble. Now in Bedrock at the moment, you can't keep the experience of the items that come out of the bottom of your furnace. You can only get 64 lots worth of experience in one go, which sucks, frankly, but hopefully they'll fix that in Bedrock. But in Java, this one will go on for days. If you have enjoyed that video, please do remember to slap that like button. It'd be great to know you're enjoying it, and I will keep on making them. Also, if you've not done it already, please do hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to see you in my sub club. I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.